Folks, sellers need to stop ignoring their vacant units. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for condos for the GTA for week ending March 20th, 2024. Just this weekend, I'm with my buyer client. We are going into a condo. It's a vacant condo. We walk in. As we open the door, man, the smell just hit us. It was such a bad odor. This wasn't a cooking odor. It wasn't anything that would relate to something like that. Like it was a sewer, like a sewer had backed up. And I thought, don't tell me somebody was here before, forgot to flush the toilet, but it was so bad. And we open up a couple windows, and as I walked through the bathroom, I noticed that the water in one of the toilets had drained all the way out of the bowl. And I'm not a plumber, but I'm thinking it's the sewer smell that's coming up through the toilet. I flushed the toilet, filled up, the smell stopped coming up, but it was still in the room. We needed to air the condo out. Now, this was a vacant condo, and this is one incident. But I've got so many. I've walked into vacant condos and the sliding door to the balcony has been open and there's a puddle of water on the floor. You know this floor is going to be ruined now. Or I open the fridge and there's rotten food inside. It's a vacant condo. There's not supposed to be any food there. Nobody's living there, but there's food rotten away inside the fridge. And I can go on and on of all the different things I see in vacant condos. Now, it seems that the mentality of a seller selling a vacant condo, it is very different than selling a vacant house. When we're in the listing process and I'm selling a house that's vacant, it just automatically comes into the conversation where the homeowner is nervous about leaving their home vacant. They're nervous about it just being there by itself, nobody living there. And either they say they're going to pass by, or I will say I'm going to pass by, and after showings we're going to check and make sure that the doors are locked and everything is, proper the way it should be. It just seems natural for a house. But when it comes to condos, nobody's checking on these. These condos are vacant. If there's a tenant in your condo, you don't have to worry about it. You assume the tenant's taking care of it. If you're the homeowner, you're living in your condo, nothing to worry about. You're taking care of it. But if it's vacant, it seems on these many condos I've seen, the seller couldn't care less. The seller's agent couldn't care less. Why? Because it's not in the middle of the street alone like a house? Is it because it's in a building full of a ton of other condos, so there's nothing to worry about? It's not true. There is lots to worry about. And as an agent that's working with buyers buying condos, we see it all the time. So if you're selling a condo and it's vacant, forget the fact that it's a condo and there's less that could go wrong with it. Maybe you're not going to have any foundation issues or roof leakage, but another agent leaves the door open, you can get water coming in from the window, from the balcony. I can go on and on of all the possible things that can happen. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a vacant condo and the thermostat has either been way up so it's super hot or really low so it's super cold in there. There's all sorts of things that can happen. So stay focused on your property. You want a successful sale? That's great. But somebody needs to be keeping an eye on your vacant condo to make sure it's being presented, first of all, in its best possible light, but that you're not causing damage or damage isn't being caused to it, forcing your investment to devalue in price. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link. Below in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the condo prices for the GTA. Folks, we have a chic starter condo by Young and Wellesley. Check out the video at the end of this video. Let's talk about condo prices. So today, condos for the GTA. We're going to talk about Peel condos. Prices are going up there. York region condos. What's happening with prices there? Big question mark. And City of Toronto condos. Prices looks like they're trending upwards. We're going to start off with the City of Toronto. 213 condos were sold. These are condo apartments, not condo townhouses. Excuse me. So 213 were sold. 20 of those were at $1 million or more. Now, when I look at the sales, 213, it's kind of hard to say that sales are going up or down. They actually look kind of flat, although, you know, it fluctuates on a weekly basis, but sales don't really seem to be increasing or decreasing. They're kind of hovering a little bit over 200 on average each week. So 213 were sold. Average price, however, does look like it's trending up pretty consistently. Average price, same as it was last week at $725, but that's up over the few weeks leading up to that. Compared to last year, $725 is 3% higher versus same price or the same week a year ago. The median price, no percentage change. When you look at the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Average price, yep, trending up. Although the last few weeks it's still trending up, but I would say a little bit flat. 213 were sold, 32%, almost a third sold at list price or more. Now the prior week dropped down to 11, but if we kind of look at that and say, it was an off week, and we look at the percentages before that, we could almost draw a straight line trending upwards right up to the 32%. So 32 is more in line to where percentages were trending. 766 were listed. 3,602, that's the amount of active condo listings in the City of Toronto. So, week ending midnight, March the 20th, there were 3,602 condos available for sale. It's a lot of condos. And when I've got some numbers underneath here, that's the weekly increase in active listings. We went last week to this week, we increased by 287 listings. It's the biggest jump we've had all year so far. Months of inventory, no surprise, based on active listings going up, sales staying flat, months of inventory has increased. Pretty much a balanced market. We're sitting at 3.9 months of inventory. That's the whole City of Toronto. Let's break Toronto down into nine markets basically. So all Toronto is 3.9. And if you look kind of just very quickly only at months of inventory in the different regions really don't vary that far away. They don't fluctuate that far from the 3.9. Now the 3.9 is an average of the whole city. So normally when we're looking at averages, if we're at 3.9, we'll see some areas that are at 1 and others at 5. There's a big difference between the 3.9. Not in this situation right now. 3.5 is Scarborough, East York, Riverdale, 2.6, Uptown 2.7, Etobicoke 3.5 months of inventory. So they're all pretty close to the 3.9. Let's look at Etobicoke, for example, though. 27 were sold. There's 413 active listings. Lots of choices in Etobicoke, specifically in South Etobicoke. Let's look at downtown. Downtown, the lion's share of the condo listings and the condo sales. And if you include all of the downtown core, we got downtown, midtown, and uptown. That's where most of the condo sales happen. Well, downtown, 55 were sold, but there's 1,382 active listings available for sale. So that's why months of inventory in downtown is as high as 5.8. But everywhere else, it's actually pretty close to the average of 3.9 months of inventory. Let's take a close look at York Region condos. 47 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Sales, although down from the previous week, trending up slightly is overall what I would say. Average sold price, $671,000. Now, before these 2 weeks that just passed, I would say average price was trending up, but it did come down and now it's hovering kind of around for 2 weeks in a row into the 660,000. 661 versus last year is 7% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 4% lower. 47 we said were sold, almost a third, 32% sold at list price or more. Listings jumped up, 139 were listed. Active listings is trending up and months of inventory sitting at 2.6. That's for York Region. You're going to find, even though 2.6, technically we're in a seller's market, which is below 3 months, it's going to feel quite a bit more like a balanced market in almost every condo situation right now. Peel Region condos. 40 condos were sold. 2 of those were at $1 million or more. 40, is it trending up? Is it flat? I think it's kind of flat if we kind of look at the last 2 weeks, but average price, definitely not flat. Average price when it comes to Peel Region condos, trending up. And Peel Region, the lion's share of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga. Compared to last year, 643,000, 7% higher versus the same time a year ago. The median price is 2% higher, and you can see the dotted lines here, the 4-week moving average. Prices are trending upwards. 40 were sold, 28% sold at list price or more. 106 were listed. Now, this is a not so normal situations. In most regions, in most home types, over the previous 1, 2, 3 months, listings has been increasing. But for a month now, listings are decreasing for Peel Region condos. Active listings is still increasing, but only slightly. Months of inventory sitting at 3 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. City of Toronto, 3.9. York Region, 2.6. Peel Region, 3.0 months of inventory. Pretty much a balanced market in most situations. Now you're going to find some buildings. The condo building really is its own market. And for most buildings, it's going to be more of a balanced type of market. But there's going to be some buildings, it's going to really be more of a seller's type market. These are buildings where few properties or few condos come up for sale and people just want to buy in these buildings. So those get scooped up quickly. There may be even competition, but there's very few of those. Then there's other buildings that have an abundant amount of listings in there, and condos tend to sit on the market for a while. Those are more of a buyer's market, and you may even see prices trending down in some of these buildings. But overall, pretty much a balanced market when it comes to condos across the GTA. Thanks for watching. Check out the video right now. This chic studio is located in one of the trendiest buildings in the city. Have a look.